Alright, this one's gonna be weird. So, last time I did one of these, some sort of guides, it went okay. People that watched it seemed to like it, and I think that it was helpful. So, I'm going to be doing something kind of similar here. I'm gonna be doing some sort of scrap mechanic guide. I mean, I've played the game a lot, so like I feel like I'm qualified to do this sort of thing. So this is some sort of scrap mechanic guide, I guess. This is so weird for me. I'm not used to this. So, what do I want to talk about today? Well, as someone who has moved bases, what is this? 4 times? Let's see. There was that base, this base. This is going to be base number 4. I feel like I'm qualified to talk about where you want to put your base. Now, let me be clear about one thing right out of the gate. There is no perfect answer. Every world is different. You will never find the same world generation, but there are things that you should look for. The things that I prioritize are it needs to be close to water because that gives you crafting materials and it lets you water your plants. It needs to be close to the main continent and a main road so that way you have access to everything. There needs to be It needs to be easily defended, and it should have resource crates nearby, so that way you can get loot. Now, those are just my rough ideas. So, let's take... You know what? This is a good spot. I actually considered building a base over here. It was... Where was it? It was just down the beach, I believe. Yeah. So I considered, when I first spawned into this world, building a base right here. Now this is pretty nice. But let's check the criteria. Number 1, is it next to water? Heck yeah, there's an ocean. Number 2, is it near resource crates? Heck yeah, there's a building right there. It's also right next to the main road, but it's a third spot that it really falls away. How easy is this place to defend? Well, if a raid was to happen, I'd have this entire area to defend against. Enemies coming in from all sides, and it would just become chaos. So if you're someone who likes combat, I guess build there. But that's not somewhere that I would choose. Uh, Another place that I've seen some people choose to build is inside of those structures. Now that's pretty good at first glance. They're easy to defend because there's usually only one way in. But you also have to consider that that whatever is in there is going to respawn and destroy your stuff. So that's probably not going to be a, hey, let's settle here permanently. That's maybe a hunker down for the night place. Now there are a few constants. There are 2 constant things that will always spawn in no matter what world. And I'm actually going to one right now. Whoa! After I write my car. There we go. Whee! You may recognize this place. This is Spawn! I haven't been over here in a long time, mostly because they removed spawn crates from respawning. But there are many benefits to being near spawn. First of all, you can easily find it due to there being a giant column of smoke. The terrain is kind of rough, but this is actually a pretty decent place to build. First of all, let's park the car. you will always have some shelter. This is a shelter. It's not great, but it works. You've got all this stuff in here. You can pick some of it up. Not much, but some of it. One of the things that actually does make this a pretty viable place is this craft bot right here. It's not going to help too much, but you can at least craft some bearings and buttons and things while you're here. So I guess it can help you out in that regard, but not too much. However, over here is where it's really good. It's a nice secluded area. There's plenty of water here. And there's a farm that automatically generates over here. You can even pull apart the wheelbarrow, and there's some patches already here. There's even a bucket. A bucket? 2 buckets. Something like that. So this is actually a pretty decent area. It would be better if it was closer to anything else. But if you're just trying to figure out where you need to be for the moment, spawn is actually a pretty decent location. Just make sure you put out all the fire. Let's go to another good area. Now, that's one of the 2 areas that's actually in every single map. It will always spawn exactly like this. There will always be this building right here and that building over there, and they will never have resource crates respawning in them. So enjoy it while you have it, unfortunately. You may recognize this area too. This is where my series started. I remember this area very well. That all used to be forest over there. And that island right there is where it all began. There's even a tote bot head here still. Is there still one underground? Yeah, there's still one underground. Oh my goodness, there's still a lot. Ugh, I left this place a mess. There is one underground still. That's amazing. Oh, I need to clean up. So these small islands in large lakes or even on oceans are fantastic. They're just far enough away that only tote bots can get across the water, as you've seen many times before. Hay bots can't swim. You can easily protect it with a little skirt around here. You can actually plant quite a bit on here. I believe I managed to fit almost a 5x5 and a bit, which is what I've got at my current base. Now, my current base is actually on one of these. It's just a bit differently shaped, and it lets me get just a bit more. That's another really good spot. And on a side note, it's actually in a almost better spot than what I have right now, simply because it's closer to that scorched ground over there. Scorched ground is the only place that you can get embers, and embers are used to make higher tiers of metal. It's also kind of close to the warehouse, and it's kind of close to the chemical station, which is another really useful thing to be close to, as you can guess from all of the chemicals that I've had to use to make 1.5 full chests of concrete, which is ridiculous. Another good spot that you might want to hunker down for the night is actually here in these little shanty towns. That's another head. Of course there's another head. These little shanty huts aren't great, but they've got some decent resources in them, and you can come up here and just hunker down. Like, that's it. This is your new home. Sadly, this stuff does get broken very easily, and this is only scrap wood, so take that with a grain of salt. However, you can actually pull most of this apart, as I've done quite a bit over there, and with some of the other ones. The resources aren't that bad either. There's a bunch of seeds, probably some soil bags left over. You can grab some crates, which you can't actually make. Oh, and I believe that this, yep, there's the toilet. That's an important thing. Take the toilet. Another good spot that you might actually want to consider building is, weirdly enough, right on the chemical plants. Now, this chemical plant in particular isn't a great example, simply because it's just so far away from any other resources. There's no water nearby, there's no nothing really. I mean, there's that tower over there, there's a tower up the hill, but there's just not much here. It is great if you're actively trying to get chemicals, but beyond that, you're not going to want more than just a little hut here to protect your setup. Now, there's one other area that is a guaranteed spawn on every map. Oh my goodness. Stupid cows. Stop it. I hate these cows. There is one other area that is a guaranteed spawn, and it's right up here. Weirdly enough, the trader, this smuggler post, whatever you will call him, farmer, is actually a really good spot to build. It's well and secluded. There's only one way in and out, which is right over there. And there's a couple of other minor entrances that are harder to get through. But that's going to be the primary way in and out. There's enough space for big farms. There's also water nearby, so you can easily water those farms. You can store all of your resources here. You don't have to travel too far for you to get to the packing station over there. And the trader is right here. It's really nice. Oh, and he occasionally has seeds right there. Hello, I'm back. Has anything changed here? Doesn't look like it. Nuts. Nope, nothing's changed. Oh well. So yeah, those are my criteria for where to look for a base. Another good spot that I just realized would be okay is this large lake right here. Now, I wouldn't recommend it because it's not easily defended, but you could certainly try. I don't know how well it would work out. Maybe up on top of that rock there, that might be useful. It actually might not be a bad idea to settle on top of a rock. Having a height advantage over everything would just make this so much easier. So yeah, that's my some sort of guide. I guess. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, that's a guide. I think. If you liked it, let me know. I might do more of these. Yeah. Bye. Ooh, tomatoes.